Welcome to the PharmaSource podcast.
Today I'm joined by Franco Negron, CEO of Simtra BioPharma Solutions, a CDMO exclusively focused on injectable drug products. Simtra launched in 2023 following a carve-out from Baxter, inheriting 65 years of sterile manufacturing experience. In just 2 years, Simtra has invested over $500 million to double capacity and build mirrored capabilities across its US and German sites. Today in this strategy teardown, we'll be exploring how Simtra is helping customers navigate supply chain challenges, tariff uncertainties, and the growing complexity of injectable manufacturing. So thank you for joining me, Franco.
Thank you.
Obviously, Simtra BioPharma Solutions is a relatively new name, but you've obviously got a long manufacturing heritage from Baxter. Can you walk us through that origin story? What happened when you became Simtra 2 years ago?
When the opportunity to carve this business out from Baxter came available, we really didn't hesitate on doing that effort. So the legacy was there, very strong. So on October of 2023, we started the transition. And our philosophy was very simple, was to unleash the full capacity and capabilities of what is now known as Simtra. And what the change of the name represents, what we're trying to do is to keep the agility of a standalone company with significant investments and support for private equity. So we knew from day one where we wanted to make the investments, and that's what led to $100 million investments in Halle, which is already coming online, and then we are adding another $400 million in Bloomington, and all that is reacting to what we know is the future and the market needs that are ahead of us. What stayed the same? Our great people, right? 65 years, we have a wonderful team, and what we have been doing is dedicating more to provide the tools, the training, and the technical expertise to our people. So as we look ahead, we are confident that the investments on the new technology, the expand capabilities, and building even stronger partnership with others in the industry will set Simtra for a long-term success.
Let's talk about you then. So you stepped into the CEO role right as Simtra was being formed in 2023. Tell me a bit about your background. So obviously you had leadership roles at Thermo Fisher. How did this experience sort of shape your vision for what Simtra could become as an independent CDMO?
You know, it's interesting because most of all my career has been in manufacturing, and I work for great companies like Procter Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Novartis, and others, and then I was part of Patheon. And one thing that it was quite clear for me was, number one, have a clear vision of where you're heading, enable your workforce to be the best they can do, bring energy, and obviously execute with excellence on what you need to do. All that in a circle of having the right scale to drive the business. And so that was my background at the beginning of my career and through my career. And when it came the opportunity to lead Simtra, the vision was very, very precise. And from day one, I wanted to create the best or the premier injectable CDMOs. Right? And doing that will create a uniqueness. And how you can do that, only the customers can make that claim about us. So we're very focused on the customer experience, doing things right the first time, doing them on time, having the technology, having the competencies that a customer will say, when you have a difficult product, that you have an important product, you go to Simtra. And that's our vision. We're a long ways to go, but after 2 years, I feel very encouraged of what we have done thus far, and more importantly, the trust that the customers are putting on us. Yes, first 2 years are always intense. Things can go right, others don't. But as long as you communicate to your customers your vision of what you're doing, they will continue to support us. And the support has been incredible because of this vision, right? Being a customer focus and dedicated to sterile liquids, right? We're not trying to be everything for everyone. And I think that focus and that vision has been very exciting for me. The other opportunity that this role brought to me, I believe in purpose. And for me, is why our people go to work, why they have to submit themselves to never deviate from our SOPs and our principles and values and so forth, is because at the heart, we make important products. We make products that saves people's lives, that enhance people's health. And I found that, there's no other place I can give you that's such a feeling. So being purpose-driven as an organization has been very, very important for us. The other thing was by creating Sintra, that focus on sterile liquid also provides agility on the investment, agility on what we're trying to do, and keeps us growing with a sector of the market that is poised to grow for years to come. So that's how my background and this opportunity came together. I'm very grateful to be sitting here talking about Sintra.
Injectables have got a lot of press recently with the surge in GLP-1s. How is Sintra positioned to support that growing market? What are the specific manufacturing challenges with GLP-1s that sponsors like you need to help with?
The reason why there's a strong market and demand for injectables is not an easy business. Many things can go wrong. So you have to be very dedicated and focused with a tremendous amount of expertise to do millions of dosages right all the time. And that's important to make the difficult decisions, right? We're committed to highest quality, and therefore we will never compromise our commitment to quality and compliance in that sense. So that tells you right there that if you want to be special, you want to be different, you got to start with that commitment to quality and to your people, and that you can't question that capability. The other thing is, the growth of this area requires more expertise on more complex molecules, right? And you think about ADCs, what a fabulous time for cancer patients where the technology is coming together to make cancer treatment more effective. Well, once again, it's a technical expertise that you have to be committed, make the investment on technical and people to keep driving, and that strategic clarity and focus drive excellence. And our commitment to excellence is, at the end of the day, what I think is going to be very, very big impact. So you got to have the skills to work on a very specialized area, and then have the commitment to put all the elements that drive excellence on that particular process. So I think that's what really makes us different. That's where we put our effort to really continue to grow and drive the specific needs, right? It can be new vaccines, can be new like GLP-1s or new ADCs, whatever it is, we got to keep investing on what is in technical expertise to drive the excellence to execute those products.
You operate sites in both Indiana in the US and Germany. With all this current tariff uncertainty and geopolitical pressures, how are you thinking about your geographic footprint? What advantages does having both of these sites provide?
I think it provides the ultimate flexibility to customers, right? I think it started with COVID. If you think about what COVID did raise the concern about having local manufacturing capabilities to support your own country or your region. I think by having capacity both in the US and in Europe puts Simtra in a very unique situation to help with a regional focus that is required, but also alleviates the pressure on tariff, which seems to be the case for. But at the end of the day, it's a combination of ensuring there is a supply chain continuity and redundancy that really benefits on the geopolitical pressure and also on the tariff. And we're set to being a great enabler for our customers to have options on what to produce.
Do you have specialities in each site, or are they both sort of mirrored so that you provide everything to each of those regions?
It's a good question. About a year ago, that was the case. We will have a very dedicated expertise in Halle and a dedicated expertise in Bloomington. And by 2027, those competencies will be similar on both sides. We will have high potency ADCs capabilities in North America, and we will have pre-filled syringe capabilities and non-high potency products in Halle, which will give the ultimate flexibility to our customers.
Yeah, and so is that the strategic reason behind it?
Absolutely.
To kind of keep those both supply chains resilient?
I've been in the industry long enough to tell you at the end of the day, redundancy in your supply chain is important. There might be certain products that are region specific, and that's okay. But when you think about global products that are important for our customers, having that redundancy is a win-win for them, yes. So it was strategic and opportunistic in the sense that it does enable for other benefits.
Let's move on to talk about AI then, because I know that you're implementing AI in your operations, but what does that actually mean in practice for injectable manufacturing specifically as well? Where do you see AI creating actual value?
It's a great conversation, and the applications of AIs right now are everywhere, right? From improving your efficiencies on your lines, all the way to help you make your business decisions more accurate. In our case, we're gonna look at two things. What is gonna help Sintra being easier and better to work with our customers? That could be making our proposals faster, easier, better, all the way on how we develop products for our customers. On the other side is what we do to be more efficient and operate a more fast response on the supply chain standpoint. So we're gonna use AI to enable the core, which is the customer experience. I know everyone is focused on, cost reduction. For me, the number one priority is to how we can make better products faster, how our customers can deal with us, and how we can make decisions that set the company for long-term success. Of course, having a cost level that is competitive will be an important aspect, but it's not the number one aspect what we're using here. We're using AI I mentioned before, in order to have the best workforce, you need to train them on the best you can. We're using AI on our training systems, and that is just to enable our workforce to be the best in the industry. So we're using AI in different sectors, and I'm very excited about what that's going to bring to the
Interesting. So staff training and kind of customer experience are your kind of two key areas.
Yes, yeah.
In addition to AI, are there any emerging technologies or manufacturing approaches that you're sort of watching or investing in that you think might be helpful in the next few years?
Yeah, I think the collaboration with our suppliers, we're always looking at ways like where we can use technology to improve lyophilization. For example, lyophilization, the cycles are always a challenge. And we, as a key developer of formulas that are lyophilized, we're working with the suppliers of the equipment, we're working with the suppliers of our lab tools on how we can make decisions that will make the formulation of lyophilization better, but also how we can reduce life cycle, or all the way to potentially eliminate the need for lyophilization. So we feel ourselves as integrators of these opportunities because we're at the center of that. So anything that will help us on our lyophilization. I was talking with a supplier the other day, how we can use them to reduce, for example, changeovers on our lines. In our business, it's different from others that you can run 1 or 2 products in that one line. We might run 6, 7, or 8 products in our lines. So we need, to be very efficient on our cleanings. We need to be very efficient on our setup. We need to do things that our suppliers are beginning to notice because our people are driving a lot of improvements on that, right? So anything that will enable, once again, a faster response. The products we're making are usually smaller and smaller on quantities. So anything that allows us to do that efficiently and effectively, we're going to be working on with our suppliers and building some of that ourselves as well.
You said you run on 6 to 7
products in one
products.
month.
So what makes you different? Do you have more capability than people who can only do 1 or 2?
Yeah. If you're in the CDMO business, you will understand. It's part of how we make our role important, right? We have high utilization, and we also have the flexibility of multiple products. Where it's different is there might be other industries or internal manufacturing to some of our customers that they want to dedicate the line because the product is big enough or the product is so important. They might dedicate that line to 1 or 2 products. The complexity is lower. In our business, the more efficient we are by running those assets longer, the better we can be. So that's where the difference is, right?
That specialization.
That specialization of being very good on running multiple products without creating any supply chain interruptions or quality issues. That's where the CDMOs thrive constantly.
You issued your first sustainability report this year.
Yeah,
Congratulations on that.
yeah.
What's driving Simtra's approach to sustainability? Is it customer requirements, regulatory pressure, or internal values, or a combination?
It's a good question. It's driven by doing what is right. It's a part of our purpose. It's part of our values. If you do something just because it's a requirement, it doesn't feel right. You do it, right? There's many things in our business we do it because it's a requirement. But when it comes to sustainability, we have a commitment to our employees. We have a commitment to the communities that we are. We have a commitment to our patients. We have a commitment to our investors. Sustainability hits all those groups, right? So for us, it's an exciting effort. And we have a dedicated group of people from different areas of our business. We have a fantastic team that comes together from all the different, like I mentioned, all the different functions, that their purpose is how we use sustainability to continue to create not only a great culture at Simtra, but also a great impact to all these different groups we do. So, of course, there's, like I said, there's a regulatory, there's an expectation. But when I meet with the sustainability team, it's all about doing the right thing for all those groups that are impacted. And that helps us make decisions. We're a small company. We cannot immediately put a sustainability plan that is 100 pages, for example. But when you look at our sustainability plan, it resonates with who we are, where we're going, and what we need to do moving to the future.
Oh, that's nice to hear. And I mean, Scope 3 emissions are really just one of the biggest drivers in pharma.
Yeah.
So for injectable manufacturing specifically, where are the biggest opportunities for environmental impact reduction? What kind of is practical versus aspirational?
Okay. I would say, for sure, energy consumption, right? Anything that help us be more efficient with our energy consumption, we're always considering what we need to do there. Then you have another obvious one is how we use things like water, because, sterile liquids, we have a big demand on water, and we're always looking about how we're efficient about it, how we avoid waste, which is not only important for your execution when you think about your cost structure and other things. It's important because it's a critical resource for all of us, right? So we feel that it's very important that we look at something like water as an important aspect that we manage on our use and control of it. And then you got other aspirational goals, right? Like how we can continue to work with our communities to create the green environment, green consciousness on waste, all the way to planting trees or things. I'm very focused on what the community will see that you're doing, right? There's some efforts that people might not see, but if we have the tree day in Bloomington and people can come and get a tree and plant a tree, or we make contributions to schools in the area that are teaching the kids on how to do things positive to the environment, we're going to go all in, right? We're going to participate on those, and it's less evident, but it's going to have a big impact in the future. So we're always evaluating what opportunities we have there and what we can help make it happen.
That's really nice, connecting community outreach with your sustainability goals. Where do you see Simtra in the next sort of 5 years? You obviously invested a lot in just a couple of years and building sites across continents. What does success look like? How do you measure that as well?
I think number one is that in 5 years, our communities will always look at our sites and say they're unique in the sense of how we participate, how we support our communities. That's going to be very important for me. Number two, that our customers talk about Simtra without hesitation as the best suppliers they have in their portfolio. I know everyone will have different choices, but I want to be the benchmark for our customers to say Simtra really understand what we need, what we're going, and so forth. Is going to be another benchmark for me to see in 5 years that we have achieved that. The other thing is that we have been noticed for using technology to enable this customer experience we're looking at. It can be AI, it can be operational excellence, it can be different aspects, but our customers and others and our suppliers will say, we love to work with Simtra because they are always looking for ways to use our technology. And at the end of the day, I will say that our workforce is recognized for doing what is right all the time and having that unique connection to our purpose. That our workforce, every time they cross that gate and they go in, they know they're working for a patient. They know there's a patient that depends on us doing the right thing. And if we can achieve that in 5 years, listen, I didn't mention financials because then everything else will be there, including the financials. But if those first 3-4 aspects, we're at the top of the food chain, I think we achieved something fantastic in this industry.
And finally then, what makes a good partnership from your perspective, a win-win partnership?
Yeah, it's a good question. We announced recently our partnership with Merck Millipore, right? And that partnership comes from both companies' passion to bring ADCs to the market faster than anyone else because we have that common passion for the patients and we also have that common passion for being the best technically on the technology and the technical aspects and so forth. So for me, I think partnership is going to be instrumental to drive further growth, not only for Simtra, but in the whole industry. When you combine, it can be regional presence, it can be technical expertise, but when you combine two companies that bring the best of two industries, you can rest assured that the customers will see that benefit and therefore the patients. So I think it's a very strategic decision which we made from day one, and I will expect that in the next few months we'll make other announcements around strategic partnership that I'm pretty sure at the end of the day will benefit our customers.
Absolutely, yeah. A shared goal and complementary expertise.
We have to have it.
That's the way forward
Yes.
in partnerships.
Yes.
Great. Before we finish, I just want to ask you, is there anything else you wanted to add?
The only thing I will add is I want to keep emphasizing the purpose-driven company, right? If you make that connection on the purpose that you play in society, in your business, in the markets, in the patients, you're going to have a great company. You're going to create something very special. And kudos to our teams in Halle, Germany, and Bloomington that they believe in that purpose. And that's why I'm so confident that on our long-term success. And that's why I'm so proud to represent them on this conversation. So Dora, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to talk about Simtra and have you with us today.